Lesotho is virtually made for riding, with no fences or boundaries. Bikers can ride for miles on technical paths through beautiful landscapes. The perfect playground for two-wheel enduro machines. But it is easy to forget when racing from village to village that these rocky tracks are vital transport routes that connect the Basotho people together. If it wasn't for these locals, there would be no tracks to ride.
In the past, these rallies happened on normal roads. Once we started leaving those roads and going right into communities, and there was a lot of negativity because it was seen as these guys came in with aerosol cans of paint. They just put down markers. There was never any discussions with communities. So there was certainly a lot of negativity that came out in those earlier days. Guys would actually mark through villages. Markers were non-Sesotho speaking guys. They weren't able to communicate with the people as to what was happening, when it was going to happen. You had these reports of bikers just plowing through fields and chasing after animals and goats and sheep and whatever. And some of the farmers were very anti.
One of the major aspects that I'm trying to bring to the forefront is the social and environmental concerns that have been raised in the last few years. What with us riders now utilizing more rural communities and tracks and paths, what we've found is that we need to try and extend a hand out to the communities that we ride through and try and affect them in a positive manner. It's one side is educating the Basotho people and making them understand why we want to do these crazy trails as they see it, and the other side is of course educating the riders to understand how important it is to be respectful and to remember that there are visitors in these areas and that it's only through the allowance or the tolerance of the people that we get to use these wonderful tracks and routes.
ntho e kgolo eo re shebaneng le yona hona jwale ke hore re bone hore re tshwara dithupelo ho ruta batho ka mahaeng ka mona hore na ba ka etsa eng haeba ho ka etsahala hore be le dikotsi dipakeng tsa bona le dithuthuthu nakong eo di ntseng di mata. Ntho e kgolo e nngwe re tlo e etsa hape selemong sena se tlang ke hore re tlile re tswile letsholo ho tla bona ho tla sebetsana le taba ya temo ho thusa Basotho jwalo ka tla fumana hore dithuthuthu di pagoletsa ka majarete a bona, di pagoletsa ka masimo a bona. Taba tseo kaofela re se re ile ra fetisa thuto ba tla be ba tseba hore na ba tla di tlaleha ka ile hore le rona re sebetsa le taba temo re tla tseba ho ba thusa hore re bone hore ba phedisa malapa a bona ka mokgwa wa fepa.
So with the changes, guys like Nhloki going out there and warning people, talking to people, come race day, everybody knows, the kids know. I mean, the kids actually, with the permission of the school, shut down. They go and watch the race. They position themselves in safe spots. Teachers now know where to position themselves, and everybody's there enjoying the great spectacle. There's been a complete change of mindset. The guys are now on board. They appreciate the value of riding in Lesotho. They appreciate the vulnerability of the people and the terrain that they're riding through. So you've had huge pledges. If I can just mention last year, a roof for a roof, Mike Morris encouraged bikers to make contributions, and come roof time, there was over 60,000 Rand that bikers had put into a kitty, which is still being utilized today, going into communities. We go into schools, we hand out blankets. Bikers are going out there having wonderful experiences, and particularly in situations where they have overnight breakdowns. I mean, so many riders come here not really knowing where they're going to and end up getting themselves lost and having to spend nights out, and communities look after these guys. There's nowhere else in the world, I believe, that we're allowed to use the country. You know, with things tightening up, all over the world. There's very, very few places in the world that you can go and ride 1,000 kilometers off trail, in amongst the rural areas, through villages, around villages, over the mountains. And then the mountains are the big factor. I mean, you know, we're sitting here in the lowlands, but you cross the first range and it's just mountains from there right across to the Drakensberg. And any bike rider will tell you this is the greatest off-road riding terrain in the world.
My mind just started to boggle at the numerous trails and places that you can ride in Lesotho. It's absolutely phenomenal. And you know, it's that love for those trails and that freedom and that rejuvenation that a person receives from going out and exploring these places and meeting the people who live out there and seeing how they live, that makes you come back feeling renewed and with a renewed respect for nature and the countryside and everything that it has to offer. And it's that love that made me decide to stop racing and start helping with the organizational side of everything. Because I think it would be a wonderful thing for everybody to be able to experience. And my passion would be to share that with people in a responsible manner, to make sure that we can all continue to enjoy it.